Coming up on DITV News, remembering Mollie. Friends and family gathered yesterday to celebrate the UI student's life. And later, we bring you the latest on the deadly mass shooting in Florida.
Coming up in sports, we hear from some of what happened in Hawkeye sports this weekend.
Scattered thunderstorms, rain, and a little bit of sunshine. Find out more in weather.
All that and more coming up. DITV News starts right now. Good morning and thanks for tuning in to this live Monday edition of DITV News. I'm Sydney Zatz. Yesterday, Mollie Tibbets was honored at a celebration of life in her hometown of Brooklyn, Iowa. Standing by in the newsroom is Bo Bowman, who attended the service yesterday. Bo, good morning.
Good morning, Sydney. More than 1,200 people, showed up to BGM High School Sunday afternoon to celebrate the life of Mollie Tibbets. Friends and family members spoke about Mollie and asked people to remember her as she lived. Her brother Jake, also a student at the University of Iowa, started a hashtag on Twitter last week, #LiveLikeMollie. A former teacher of Mollie's explained that living like Mollie meant to try. He said, quote, "Try without the fear of failure. When others played it safe, Mollie would try," end quote. So there was definitely a real sense of closure at the funeral yesterday. Everyone who spoke tried to keep the mood very positive, but it was still an emotional day to say the least. One relative concluded her eulogy with the statement, "The Mollie movement has just begun." Reporting live in the newsroom, Bo Bowman, DITV News.
Last week, the UI released a second statement regarding the death of Mollie Tibbets. VP of Student Life Melissa Shiver sent a campus-wide email reading in part, quote, "When the news broke that Mollie Tibbets was confirmed dead, it rocked many of us. For weeks we have hoped for a better ending, and what I know happened during the vigil on Wednesday night filled me with light. You remembered her in a way that brought dignity and respect to a horrific tragedy. You sent her off with love. Thank you for demonstrating strong character and showing the world what it means to be a Hawkeye. You're bringing your best selves at a time when it would be easy to focus on anger, fear, and resentment. I cannot think of a better way to honor Mollie and her life," end quote. She ended the letter by expressing that the UI Counseling Center is available to those who are experiencing grief. If you or someone you know is experiencing grief during this tough time and you're having time processing all this, please know any of these campus resources are here to help. You can find information by calling any one of these numbers or by going online. A movement has hit social media in honor of Mollie Tibbets. Runners across the nation are dedicating each mile they run to Tibbets by using the hashtag #MilesForMollie. Posts from Nevada all the way to England show that impact that Tibbets had on the running community. Tibbets, an avid runner who participated in cross-country in high school, was last seen when she went for a run on July 18th. Over a month later, her remains were found in a cornfield in Guernsey, Iowa. By using the hashtag, people are hoping they can bring a positive out of this tragic event. Sunday afternoon, 2 people were fatally shot in Jacksonville, Florida, while a video game tournament in the Jacksonville Landing complex. The gunman has been identified as 24-year-old David Katz from Baltimore, Maryland. Katz was in Jacksonville for the video game competition, and police state Katz used at least one handgun in the shooting. He was confirmed dead from a self-inflicted gunshot. After the shooting, 9 victims in total were transferred to hospitals in Jacksonville to be treated for gunshot wounds. Stay tuned with DITV News for more updates on this story. Over the weekend, the family of John McCain announced that the longtime politician has died at the age of 81. The Arizona state senator had been battling brain cancer at the time of his death, announcing that he would no longer receive treatment just one day before he died. McCain served in the Vietnam War as a naval fighter pilot before being captured and held as a prisoner of war for over 5 years. After his return home, he became a Republican congressman serving under President Reagan. Shortly after, he began his 6th-term run as senator that spanned over 30 years. McCain ran for president twice, falling short to George W. Bush and Barack Obama. Before his death, he asked the 2 former presidents to give eulogies at his funeral. McCain will lie in state in both the Arizona Capitol and U.S. Capitol before being buried on September 1st at the U.S. Naval Academy Cemetery. With City Council elections happening in just over a week, we here at DITV News want to keep you informed about who is running in the election. Every day this week, we'll be profiling each candidate to inform you about the things they want to change. Standing by in the newsroom to tell us more about our first candidate is DITV News reporter Becca Skadden. Good morning, Becca.
Good morning, Sydney. Today we kick off the week with candidate Ann Ferrerix. Ann Ferrerix is a longtime Iowa City resident serving on the Longfellow PTA and Neighborhood Association boards. Ferrerix admires the diversity Iowa City has to offer from all aspects, including economics, race, gender, and age. She believes that these attributes are a benefit for the city and hopes to further create neighborhoods that are not divided, but instead work and live together. Ferrerix also wants to preserve Iowa City's historical features, but understands the need for development. We here at DITV will continue to bring you a candidate every morning this week. You can also head to dailyiowan.com for more information about candidates in the upcoming election. Reporting live in the newsroom, Becca Skadden, DITV News.
And this morning, there's quite a few raindrops, a dreary start to the week. But I'm hoping it clears up for that Hawkeye football season opening on Saturday. To tell us more about what we can be expecting with John Cheng within the weather studio. John?
Thanks, Sydney. The second week of classes have begun, and what better way to start off the week than with some thunderstorms and rain? Think I'm joking? I wish I was. Sadly, carrying on this morning into the afternoon, expect thunderstorms and rain with an afternoon high temperature of 90 degrees. Tonight there will be some isolated thunderstorms with the temperature dropping down to 74 degrees. I wish I could say the forecast is looking great for the upcoming week, but unfortunately I cannot. Let's take a look at the extended forecast. Tomorrow you can expect thunderstorms and sunshine with an afternoon high temperature of 85 degrees and at night a low temperature of 64 degrees. On Wednesday you can expect rain along with some sunshine with afternoon high temperatures in the lower 70s and at night low temperatures in the mid 50s. Luckily Thursday is nothing but sunshine with afternoon high temperatures in the upper 70s and overnight low temperatures in the lower 60s. Scattered thunderstorms on Friday with afternoon highs in the lower 80s and overnight lows in the upper 60s. Finally, on Saturday, expect thunderstorms in the morning with afternoon high temperatures in the mid 80s and at night low temperatures in the mid 60s. Well, I hope you're all looking forward to Thursday because every other day of this week is not looking so nice. It's important to keep in mind that forecasts do change and we can all hope for sunny skies this Saturday for Iowa's home opener football game. That's all I got. Guys, back to you.
University of Iowa Housing and Dining is changing its guidelines for posting and soliciting. This year, they will not allow paper marketing flyers to be posted in their facilities in order to become more sustainable. Housing and Dining said they will still accept paper table tents and resident assistants will still be able to put out flyers. For more on the story, check out today's edition of the Daily Iowan. Yesterday, families and nature lovers alike joined together at the Terry Trueblood Recreation Center to learn about monarch butterflies at the annual Monarch Butterfly Festival. DITV News reporter Samantha Oswick has more.
Terry Trueblood Recreation Area was home to the annual Iowa City Monarch Festival over the weekend. With a large crowd in attendance, many nature lovers were able to share valuable information about butterflies, forest preserves, and the ecosystem to help promote awareness. Elizabeth Swan described the work she does with the Iowa Masters Naturalist Program to educate the public on the nature surrounding them.
Educate people about the nature in their own backyards. And so we have courses that we offer at various locations across the state. And each course offers 40 hours of education, which includes lectures and field trips each week.
With butterflies, cocoons, milkweeds, and caterpillars, Caroline Murphy has bred over 100 butterflies as she explained to me the many facets of life surrounding a butterfly.
Baby caterpillar, and then we have them as they get a little older, eating milkweed, and then we also have the big caterpillars that are about in their fourth install. And so our goal is to educate the individuals about the importance of the monarch.
All ages were able to plant their own seeds and learn how butterflies eventually pollinate them. Lynn Nelson attended the event to show her kids what nature in their own backyard meant.
We came just to check it out. We have milkweed growing alongside of our house and have seen the caterpillars and actually brought one in and saw the chrysalis and watched it hatch into a monarch. So kids are really interested in the butterflies and how it works.
From Terry Trueblood Recreation Center, I'm Samantha Ostwick for DITV News.
For more on this story, be sure to check out Christopher Burrow's feature in today's print edition of the Daily Iowan. And while we have lots of Hawkeye sports in the mix, we have Will Silverstein in the sports studio to fill us in. Will?
Yeah, I'd like to apologize for technical difficulties earlier on the show, but the truth is there's just so much going on in Hawkeye sports, I just wasn't able to get the words out of my mouth. The Iowa field hockey team traveled down to Chapel Hill, North Carolina to face ACC powerhouses Wake Forest and UNC. In Game 1 against the 14th-ranked Demon Deacons, a goal from Katie Birch and one from Maddie Murphy gave Iowa the 2-1 victory. In Game 2 against the number 2-ranked Tar Heels, Iowa got off to another early lead with another goal from Murphy, but it just was not enough as the Hawks fell 2-1. Our sports director, Lucy, is a North Carolina native, and I know she's super happy about that win over her hometown Demon Deacons. But since she's not a Duke fan, I'll just bring up that Iowa lost to Carolina. But Iowa field hockey will be back in Iowa City this Friday from their home opener against Dartmouth. The soccer team was back in Iowa City this weekend when they took on Indiana State on Sunday. The Hawks earned their second win of the season with a 1-0 shutout of the Sycamores, thanks to the lone goal from Rosie Ripslinger. Iowa will be back in action this Friday when they host the 4-team Hawkeye Invitational. In Iowa volleyball, they were on the road this weekend as they opened up their season in Nashville for the LUV Invitational. In Game 1 against SMU, Iowa rallied to win in 4 sets, which included 19 kills from Taylor Lewis. It was another hard-fought match against Lipscomb, but the Hawks fell in 5 sets. And in Game 3 on Sunday, Iowa swept Belmont in 3 sets to finish the tournament at 2-1. Iowa's Regan Coyle and Taylor Lewis were named the All-Tournament team, and Iowa will hit the road again this weekend to face Washington in the Big Ten Pac-12 Challenge. We're only a few weeks away from the start of the NFL season, and I'm so anxious to see how my LA Rams will do this season, but they are in the NFC, which includes the Packers and Bears, so I'm sure they'll be fine. Even though they were still a few weeks away from the regular season, we've seen recently drafted Hawkeye make some stand-up plays so far this preseason. Now, this is a Green Bay Packers highlight, so some of these Bear fans may want to look away, but rookie Josh Jackson is fitting in nicely in Green Bay. In 2 preseason appearances, Jackson had 2 pick sixes, one of which was unfortunately negated by a penalty. But we'll definitely miss Josh in the black and gold this season, but it's nice to see a former Hawkeye doing well in the green and gold. That's it for me from the sports studio, but tune in tomorrow for more from Iowa football as they prepare for their season opener this weekend. And be sure to check out daily-iowan.com for more coverage on what happened this weekend in Hawkeye sports. Sydney, back to you.
Thanks, Will. And that will do it for this Monday morning edition of DITV News. Be sure to tune in every day, Monday through Friday, as we're live at 8:30. And you can stay up to date on all Iowa City news, sports, and more by visiting daily-iowan.com, as well as tuning in to our live streams. Don't forget to pick up a print edition of the Daily Iowan on stands now. For DITV News, I'm Sydney Zetz, and have a great day, Iowa City, especially on this dreary morning.